Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another super cool radio interview. I'm your host, Matthew Thomas. Thank you so much for tuning in. I have a great guest joining me at this time who I'm very excited to have on the podcast. On April 4th, Silverdust will release their fifth album entitled Sympathy of Chaos. Please welcome Silverdust.
Thank you so much, Matthew.
How about you? How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. As I said, it's very nice to have you guys on the podcast, obviously, to discuss the upcoming album, Sympathy of Chaos, and everything you guys have in the works as well. So it's very nice to meet you. How are you guys doing?
Doing well, thank you.
Yeah, it's getting good. Good. We have a lot of work currently, but that's a very positive period now.
Oh, for sure. So I'm obviously diving into the upcoming album. It'll be available on April 4th. So before we talk about the music, I'm curious, how did the title for the album, Sympathy of Chaos, come about?
Yeah, Symphony of Chaos is something, a reflection about the world and how it's working. You know, here we are living in a little city, town. It's a very nice place and it's a very quiet place. And I love to live here. But when I see we are touring a lot, we are playing a lot with this band, and if I see some other country or the place, it's a nice place too. But on the world, it's not working like I mean in my mind. So we can see all what's happening currently and before, and it's a reflection in my mind. I'm not a negative guy, you know, very positive guy, and I know that's a lucky guy because I'm living here. I have a lot of very nice people around me. I have a great band, and we enjoyed a lot. But if I see to the other side and other place, I know it's not working not like I want in my mind. So that's why the title of the band, it's composed a lot of different things. You know, I'm very attentive with a lot of different things, you know, in our world.
And I think it's with the title, we also wanted to show it's a mix, you know, of hope, because symphony is something which is kind of positive. It sounds, you know, everything works well when you say symphony, and then we mixed it with chaos, because chaos is already when it does not work. So I think it's at the same time, it's kind of the darkness, but with hope, you know. So that's what we try to put in this title.
Oh, it's a little bit like between darker and anger, you know, angel. Mm-hmm. Something what we can say about this album.
Well, I think so, and I definitely like the title because, you know, as you're kind of talking about, like Symphony of Chaos don't necessarily go together in a sentence, but I kind of like it because it's got that kind of uniqueness to it where, you know, two words that you don't expect to be put in a title are in a title, but I think it actually like matches kind of, I would say, like the imagery with it and the music as well.
Yeah, I think definitely. I mean, Rob Campbell is composing everything, you know, all the music, and I think with this album, you mixed a bit of sadness with also a bit of happiness. So when you listen to it, there is a lot of energy in this new album, but also, again, some darkest moment, I think. So it's really a mix of both.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. You know, I have a hard time in 2023. Yeah, I just lost my best friend, and this was a very, very hard period. Then I was like paralyzed 2 months and thinking about so many things and other things too. But one day is coming, and this was like energy is coming back. I just feel that this was the time to compose something and to work. And in 2 months, I just writing 21 songs, and that this was like obsession, just compose and compose and compose. And on the end of these 2 months, I don't realize what's happening, but I was sure I have something very special, because I don't think, I just let my mind working and just let my emotion working, and it's how I composed this album. And this was the first time that it's happening like that. I'm always thinking about, in every album, I'm just always thinking about the time of the songs, them, all this stuff. But this time with this album, I just want to let my mind going and going, and just let the creation goes higher than I can. And with emotional things that I'm living before, with that I'm lost my best friend, it's just coming like, hey, now it's time. And this was like a therapy. Is it right? Therapy?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And on the end, I just say, I just think, and I just feel that it's a great album. And I'm honest, it's not to say, okay, I'm the best. I'm not like that. I just feel that it's a great album, and I'm very sure about that. This is how this album is born.
What kind of like with like the approach to this album obviously being different from like the previous albums, did you feel like you were able to like refine the songs or like change the direction of the band a little bit with the approach you took to writing and recording this album?
There is a change, definitely, and that's something we discussed together, but also with the rest of the band, before starting this new album, because we were thinking about how to make it a bit more modern, I would say. It's not that we did not like Silver Dust before, but I think, we had different objectives in the past, and now we were thinking, okay, what do we need to go into the next step in terms of, the image on stage, but also the sound, and we wanted something a bit darker, as I said, but also a bit more modern, maybe bit stronger than in the past, because in the past we were more like, kind of magical around magical things, which were sometimes nice, a bit happy sometimes. But this time we were thinking about, okay, we need, and we really want something a bit stronger than we had in the past. And we spoke about it, and then we let him, do the magic and compose this. And I think it's perfectly aligned with the idea we had. We did not want to become a black metal band or something like this, because it would be a bit too extreme compared to the style we had. But we wanted this change. So, as you said, it's right. I think it's a different album if you compare to the past. And the band has also evolved, and it's also kind of a new era for the band,
Yeah, that's right, a new era. And before we were a little bit between pop, rock, and metal, and this is total metal. But I take the choice to bring some stuff and modern stuff. I'm listening a lot of electro music. I'm very big fan from Prodigy, Justice, and David Guetta too. David Guetta, I'm sure, and all this stuff. So I'm a pop guy. I like the pop music. I like that. So I'm pretty much better now for the programming, the sounds, the stuff, composition. And I'm very big fan of classic music, from Mozart, the Requiem from Mozart, Wagner, Beethoven, all darker composer, And that's that's something that I'm learning for the beginning of my life. And this meltdown, you know, between metal, but darker metal, more stronger, electro, and classical music. That's what I want to try to do. I make a big progression with the composition. I know that and I feel that, but after on the end, it's coming another thing. It's the voice. I was not able before to just compose all that I have in my head. It means maybe experience, maybe my voice. I was good until now, but I feel something different. I use and I practice a lot of different technical vocal, and I just coming better and better and better. And now I can feel that I can sing all stuff with the metal things, you know, and that's a very important thing, because if the music is good and you take the decision to go in one side, if the voices is not follow all this concept, it's just falling down. It's a good point, you know. It's exactly like all the planet is coming on the right side. The music much more better on the composition, more better on the programming, and better on the voice. And that's why I say today is just the best album and the best composition that I'm doing. I can say that. Before, yeah.
I got you for sure, and I've listened to some of the songs off the upcoming album, and I really like it because again, you kind of hear that kind of progression compared to like previous albums. And I do understand what you're talking about with like the programming and the voice and the composition. It's all, I think, again, I like the previous work, but I think just it's in a different era with a different kind of styling to it, and I think that change was very much needed to kind of bring out some of those darker elements that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, definitely. And we also hope that it will open some opportunities with this for more metal festivals, because I would say we were a bit in between rock, pop, and metal in the past, and sometimes it was a bit difficult to position the band in festivals, for example, because it was too metal for a rock festival, but not metal enough for a metal festival. So now with this, we really target really metal festivals, and we hope to have opportunities. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I do hope you get some great opportunities, obviously, with this year and the upcoming year as well. So kind of curious, talking about like the live performance side, like for Lord Campbell, how do you prepare like for performing live compared to recording music?
It's two different things, like you can imagine. Composition is something that I'm doing alone. I need to be alone. I need to period for compose, and the very good thing is that everybody in the team have confidence about me, so they know, they like what I'm composed, they like my music, and I'm always open to saying, okay, if you know and you feel maybe some better things than my composition, we can try. And I stay all the time open for doing something other, but it's working very good with the band because it's very clear of who is doing what, and that's the very most important things, because on the band you can easily have some problem if you are not clear with the other. And in this band, Silver Dust, we have a very, very good guy. This person here is the first that I want to speak. It's just Fabian. This is my best friend. She just managed the band and is a little bit like a right arm, and she does a lot of things. She's the executive producer too. So this concept, this project, we are speaking about that for a long time. It's a long time. I remember the place and the time when we are speaking together. You remember?
Yeah.
And if today we are thinking about that, we can say, oh, we are doing so much things.
We never imagined, I think, doing this.
Yeah.
And I mean, coming back to the question about performing, I think we've been on stages that we would never imagine we would be, you know. So I think it's great to see this, and sometimes we even surprise ourselves. We're like, okay, we are, for example, a few years ago, we opened for Kiss in Switzerland. Yeah, they were playing a big festival here in Switzerland in summer, and we had the chance to be selected to play before them. And we are both big fan of Kiss. So it was like, you know, it was kind of a dream on that day. We could not believe that we were playing on the same day in the same festival as the band we love.
And it's existing. Maybe she will show you after. Just before the show from Kiss, she was on the stage, and she has the guitar, the Paul Stanley guitar on his hand. Just 2 hours before he plays, I was made for your video. But the Paul Stanley guitar, you know, it's existing a photo. So
coming back to the question, I think, if I may, when I think you mentioned composing, which is something that he does quite alone. You know, we trust him, we are confident. I think performing is different, because performing, it's really a teamwork, and you need the entire band to be with the audience. And to me, I mean, I'm not on stage, you know, I'm usually just looking backstage what is going on. But from what I see, I think that usually the first minutes of the show are very important, because that's when usually people, they do not know the band, you know, because we are not famous enough. So the first minutes is when they are going to discover the band. And if we manage to catch their attention during those few minutes, I think it's super important. And we've seen gigs where no one knew the band, but because of these first few minutes, you know, like people were like, wow, that's a nice concept, you know. Or, I mean, it's really important.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we are thinking about all this little detail, and it's something that we are doing better and better, show after show, and we are doing a lot. So we are learning to what is a good show. And that's like you said, a second thing. You have the composition, you have the music, and after are coming the other guy. We have the best drummer in Switzerland, and maybe more area. Yeah, and it's just amazing. If you have the chance to see Mr. Killjoy one day, you're a lucky guy.
Check on YouTube. He has tons of videos. He's really a great player.
Yeah.
I mean, a great drummer, but also, you know, I mean, really, he knows how to make the show during a gig. So people are really looking at him, and I think he's great. So he's really a very, very important member in the band. Yes.
Yes, he's just amazing. We have a great guitar player too. And a great bass player. So it's something that when we mix all together, something special is coming, and I think the people can feel that, because we are giving a lot of things when you are on stage, and in every place that we are playing, like Fabian said before, somewhere we were famous, some place no, but always in the end, everybody is just down and up and down, and just on the end we have always great photos with the crowd. So it's the goal that we say, okay, today we want a party, we want something that the people can feel and never forget, and that's what we try to do in every show.
And sometimes it's smaller things. Just to finish the question, I think, for example, at some point during each gig, we make people jump in the audience. So usually we make them jump once first, and then Lord Campbell goes to the audience, go off the stage, go to the audience, and start jumping with them. And it's a small detail, but at the end, people, they love it. And, after the show, that's what they remember. Or you see on social media stories of people jumping with him. I mean, they don't know who he is necessarily, but they jump and they are happy. So I think that's this kind of small details we are looking for to really, again, catch the attention and be with the audience, because I think we are a band which communicates a lot with the audience. And we believe it's super important because, we are there because they come to the show and they enjoy it. So we need them, basically.
Well, obviously you guys have some incredible moments, obviously with the crowd and, obviously performing all the different, festivals and shows and areas you guys have toured at. But just that, that kind of small details you were talking about just make so much to people, that people really enjoy. That's like one of their big takeaways, is that like him in the crowd jumping with them. Like people are going to talk about that, like at the, where we were here, I got to jump in the crowd with this guy. Like people are going to remember that for years.
Yes, definitely. Yes.
So I appreciate you guys sharing all the, the great, obviously about the insight about the album and all the great memories and with Silver Dust, but also kind of looking at the future. What is kind of the rest of this year looking like for the band?
That will be a busy year. So now we are fully focused on the release of the album, as you said, on April 4th. We just released last week first single, Salve Regina. So there is a music video on YouTube. So we were busy with this. We will be busy with the release. And then we'll have some summer festivals. And we are planning a European tour for the end of the year. So the idea would be to go back to most of the cities we've been already in the past, in Europe. And we are also speaking about potentially going to South America one day, hopefully North America as well.
Yeah.
So,
we missed it in 20.
Yeah, we had an opportunity 2 years ago, I think, to go to the US. I mean, unfortunately, as you may know, it's a bit difficult with the visas, and for artists, it's not that easy. So unfortunately, it was a bit too much paperwork for us. But we still hope to be one day in the US, because that's a country we love, and we would really love to tour there. And I'm sure it would. The album would resonate with people there.
I think so, definitely. I've enjoyed what I've listened to so far with the album, so I think it would definitely resonate with the North American audience as well. But now, as we're starting to close out this interview, so I'm curious, for everyone watching, where are the best places to find Silver Dust online?
I think it's YouTube, I would say, because we have lots of videos about, our music videos, but also live performance. So I think if people want to see and listen to Silver Dust, I think YouTube is one best place to go. We are also quite active on social media like Facebook, Instagram. So I think you can also follow us there to see, the news about the band, and we try to put as much content as we can. So I would say that's usually where to go if you want to see more about us and also interact with us.
Well, very good. I will leave some links for Silver Dust in the description of the podcast. Please check out and support them. New album, Sympathy of Chaos, will be available on April 4th. Make sure to give it a listen. But thank you guys so much for your time. I had a fantastic time chatting with you guys.
Thank you so much, Matthew.
Thank you so much, man.
Of course, for Silver Dust, I'm your host, Matthew Thomas. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Super Cool Radio. And remember, stay frosty.